welcome. Let's do our opening prayer and then off we go. O great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my father, my mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, so it's been a real week for truth telling and for being honest with ourselves and starting to see things the way they really are versus the way that we'd like them to be, right? So let's just start. We've already got questions pouring in. Let's just see what's coming through. Sachin is saying, hi, how are you? Can I get a reading? Yep, let's see what the angels have to say. Okay, so the card that's coming up for you is Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. So this card is talking about facing your fears. So they say, fear stands for, fear stands for, what's it called? Face everything and run, or face everything and rise, right? So either like most people avoid dealing with their feelings, they avoid dealing with their wounds, they avoid dealing with their inner child. And I'd say it's even more prevalent in spiritual circles. There's huge amounts of spiritual bypassing in religion, in metaphysical circles, where people are completely ignoring the manifestations and completely ignoring their own pain because they're like, oh, I've already worked on this, so I've already healed this, even though they clearly have not. If you heal something, your life changes, right? So if it's not healed, guess what? Life hasn't changed and you haven't changed. So there's a lot of courage required here. So we're going to bring in the angels of courage, particularly this lion energy. There we go. So believe it or not, all of this self-sabotage comes from you deeply believing that you cannot do it, right? So when we believe that we cannot do it, we get very angry at God, at other people, at life for asking us to do something we believe we cannot do, right? And that really deep fear of I can't do it, it sabotages everything, right? Whether it's with you picking fights in relationships, whether it's you sabotaging work opportunities, whether it's you avoiding clients, whether it's you destroying sessions, this core belief of I cannot do it, right, is what is at the root of this, the saboteur archetype, and at the root of our own self-sabotage. There's a reason Louise's Hay book was titled I Can Do It, right? You can do it. Because this core belief of I can't, it will really stop you in your tracks, and it will create all kinds of unconscious self-sabotage and all kinds of projection. Okay, so let's take a moment to release the belief I can't do it, and let's replace it with I can do it. And I'm going to be super brave. Right, I'm going to take a fearless moral inventory. So where I'm saying I can't deal with finances, yes, you can. I can't handle that level of responsibility, yes, you can. I can't handle this level of pressure, yes, you can. I don't do marketing, yes, you do. There comes a point where you have to choose between stagnation and growth, and growth requires learning new skills and a higher level of responsibility, right? And it's not about you not being in the flow. It's about you being in the fear. When you say, I can't do it to the things that God is showing you will take you to the next step and the next level, that is fear, not flow. Okay, so let's release your fears that you don't have what it takes to step into that divine flow, to step into that higher level of responsibility. Okay, that's way better. Next one. Kira's saying hello. Hi, lovely. Would love a card reading on this full moon. Okay, let's see what the angels are saying for this full moon. Wow. Okay, so we've got two cards that just topped out. The first one is the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. And the other card that came up is Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know the presence of love is real. So there's a huge, I would say, like supernova explosion of divine power happening at the moment. Marianne Williamson's running for president. Many people are finding their voices and stepping up in many different areas, in abundance, in health, in politics. There's this huge flowing of divine power, right? And they're saying at the center of everything there's a light, and I am that light. And people are finding the integrity to stand for what they really believe in, even if they're being ridiculed, even if they're going to be shamed. They're finally finding the courage to step into their truth. And to know that love is the way. So this idea that light is the most powerful force that there is, this idea that love is not an idea that's naive, this idea that love is the only thing that's going to save us from self-destruction, destroying the planet, destroying ourselves, is becoming more than just a theory. It's becoming a practice, right? And that's what this full moon is bringing in. It's the birthing of this idea from a theory into a reality. And then I trust the answers I find within me. I know the presence of love is real. This is, we were just talking about like believing you can't do it. And this is the energy coming really strong through Teresa of Avila. That's like, you have to have your own back. You have to believe in yourself. You have to, and there comes a point where you have to look at the traumas that are stopping you from believing in yourself, right? And most people don't do that. But this really understanding, and at a very core level, right, that the presence of love is real, and that the answers are inside you, is the only thing that creates self-trust, is the only thing that lets you turn to God instead of turn to other people. It's the only thing that lets you walk by faith and not by sight. It's the only thing that makes you do things that everybody else would go, oh my God, that looks insane, and then it works out. Right? The very same people that were saying to me, you know, when I was leaving my law degree, what are you thinking? Why are you doing that? You've got like a safe, you know, job, etc., income for life, are now saying to me, how did you do it? How did you go from working a normal job to having 2 6-figure businesses? How did you go from doing something that you hated to doing something you loved? So, you know, same thing with my social media. People that were made fun of me were like, oh, you know, it's just for influencers, and you know, you're trying to please people, you're trying to be popular. Now they're asking me, how do you do it? What's your social media strategy? And the same people that refused to work with me at the very beginning or laughed at me are now the people that can't afford me. And this comes from the walking by faith and not by sight. I do what God tells me. And that came from years of praying for an obedient heart. Right? But an obedient heart comes from trusting your guidance, not what other people say, what God says, what that still small voice within says. And that's why I still go back over and over and over again to Course in Miracles, right? Because at the end of the day, there is no being or intelligence that knows better how to keep you and your family safe, how to create higher good for humanity, what it is that your path is supposed to be, than God. So you're training yourself to trust that still small voice within more than you trust other people, more than you trust anything. And not just to listen to it when it's convenient for you or when you think you're going to get a manifestation from it, to listen to it unconditionally, to listen to it whether you can see the benefit or not, to really trust that divine guidance above all things. And that's very much coming through with this full moon, this energy of surrendering to divine power, surrendering to the divine plan, getting out of how you think things will happen and this make it happen energy, and into follow your divine guidance, follow your divine guidance, follow your divine guidance, follow your divine guidance. Okay, Sachin is saying anything in relation to my health. Okay, let me have a look. Oh, okay, went straight to the book there. Let me see what they're saying. So the card that you got is Queen Ether, the Morning Star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Ether represents the powerful combination of feminine intuition and divine timing. Ether is a Hebrew orphan born within, you know, basically born an orphan and completely outside of any abundance inside her culture. And she became the king's chief minister. Okay, using her brilliance and intuition, she came up with a plan to save her cousin and her people, and her beauty had caught the attention of the king. So she used it to become his main partner. But the energy of this ascended goddess or mistress is using beauty to return people to God, using your beauty as a path to attract people back to all that is, back to who they really are, right? And knowing that your beauty is a powerful force in the hands of God and in the heart of God to be used to home, right? But this energy is like of bright star. Now, what I'm getting, especially because Archangel Raphael's coming in really strongly, is that so many of you are healers, so many of you are medical intuitives, and the, you are refusing to put yourself first, point blank refusing. And it's a lesson that's like you've had for lifetimes and you've been refusing to learn for lifetimes. And it's at the point where only with an illness, only when you're sick do you put yourself first, right? So your health will return when you learn to put yourself first, because you were given a mission by God, not because of, your beliefs that you're selfish, not because of the belief that you're superior, but understanding, right? That when you are an adult, your ability to give service comes from putting God first, and that's what you are. So when you put God first, suddenly all these things start working in your life, right? Including your body, including your health. If part of your mission on this earth is to guide people from sickness to health, and you are ignoring that calling lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, there comes a moment where there's an accident that happens, or you become sick, or you will manifest the wound to remind yourself of the blessing that you carry for humanity. Because we're back to this idea of we're trying to do what we want to do, what we think will work, instead of surrendering to that divine mind. So anywhere where you are fighting God's will for you, right? Anywhere where you're thinking this isn't what I want to do, but it's what your gift is, and it's what brings you the most joy. Whatever objections your ego has, let's release it now. Oh, if we're going to call on Archangel Raphael and ask for an instant healing, and ask for a deep transformation of your attitude so that you're able to finally give this wound to God, this wound of I'll put myself last, this sacrifice wound. It's not who you are. It's just something you do. There we go. I have to hand it over. Gosh, I can feel that shift happening. It has to be a conscious decision, right? It's just like healthy eating, just like when you start becoming abundant, just like when you start looking for healthy relationships, it's a conscious decision that you are going to put yourself first. Okay. Jennifer Morgan saying, thank you so much for all that you do, Sky. I would love some guidance on stepping away from my 9-to-5 job. I left once before and I would like a more graceful and permanent move. Okay, so let me have a look. Okay, so you got the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. So what I find a lot of healers do is that we stop sending love to ourselves and we stop sending compassion to ourselves. We're just sending anger to ourselves. It's like, you should have gone out from that job. You should be more successful by now. You should not be stuck in this toxic relationship. And we are sending judgment and anger towards ourselves. And we're already receiving judgment and anger from the situation, right? From the difficult job or from the difficult relationship or from the difficult whatever. So it's a double whammy. We're abusing ourselves and we're getting abused by other people, and it keeps us locked in, right? Locked into unworthiness, locked into gripping onto what we have, locked into lack. And it also stops that contagious joy that attracts new clients, that attracts opportunities, that allows the universe to bring in the things that we're asking to receive. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to stop the gripping. I want you to breathe and stop gripping onto, I have to have the success before I can let go of this job, and gripping onto the job is the source of my success. Okay, I just want you to stop the gripping, stop holding on to the lack, and breathe into God's abundance. Breathe into God as the power to provide, God as provision, right? God is your birthright. And then it's as simple as creating one good offer, right? One client package at around 1,500 to 200, one group program, right? And then all you're doing is talking about it every day on your social media, on your post. You're just talking about it every day. There we go. It's simple. It's just different. Right? People tend to run around like headless chickens at this point, switching from one thing to the next to the next. People, for starters, your clients are psychic, so they can feel when you're panicking, right? And a business that works has to be focused on serving others, not on making you rich. Abundance is a byproduct of unconditional love and service. You give abundance to others, and they will give abundance to you. It's the law of the universe. It's cause and effect. So you just have to focus on one thing, right? My business was built on one-to-one sessions. It wasn't built on fancy programs. It wasn't built on anything other than one-to-one sessions for years. It's only a year ago that I transitioned into some group programs. So breathe, right? You can keep it simple. And we're also just going to release this toxic need for immediate validation, right? It's not how it works. You can't walk into a room full of entitlement and pretend that that's the same thing as walking into a room full of abundance. It's not the same thing. Entitlement comes from fear. Abundance comes from overflow. Okay? We're not entitled to God's abundance. It's grace. God's abundance is grace, pure grace. Just the way you can't earn a breath, everything that we're given is from God's grace. So let's just release that immediate need for validation and that belief that you have to have lots of followers, lots of email to make lots of money. It's not how it works. You need good relationships. You need to focus on loving the clients that God brings to you. And you need to focus on talking about how you can heal, how you can serve, how you can help every single day. That is it. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay, Kate Hodges saying, hi, beautiful. I would love some guidance around my own spiritual growth and healing today. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card, but your angels are like, keep saying the words to me, rest, rest, rest. Okay, rest, rest, rest. So there's something really here about rest and restoration. Oh, there we go. The card that came up for you. White buffalo calf woman. Never had this one before. The prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass and the path of love is true abundance. Okay. My heart is a compass and the path of love is true abundance. So we're just going to bring in this really powerful, sacred, shamanic energy, right? That wants to show you that abundance is more than money. So money is important, right? But let me put it this way. Most people can't afford integrity. Most people can't afford to put their dreams first. Most people can't afford their divine life purpose. So you see how abundance is Most people can't afford true love. Most people can't afford a good relationship with their children. Most people can't afford a good relationship with themselves. Okay. And this is an emotional kind of abundance. So financial abundance is a manifestation of spiritual and emotional abundance. You have to decide that you can afford people speaking badly about you. You can afford to say no to people that are in alignment with you. You can afford your integrity. You can afford your divine life purpose. You can afford your boundaries, right? Because that is the price of living a life that's in integrity, and a price of living a life that is going to create true abundance instead of fake abundance, right? Or just like, forward facing abundance where everything looks amazing, but it's not in the background. So it's this energy of, you need to decide that you can afford boundaries, that you can afford your divine life purpose, that you can afford integrity, and that you are willing to pay the price. Because the price is stopping people pleasing. The price is stopping doing things to get people to, like manipulation, basically. The price is really stepping into your power. And then the financial abundance flows. So we think the price is about money. The price is actually a spiritual price, right? Because when you let go of those things, when you pay the price of letting go of the people pleasing, of your self-worth being on the table, of your divine life purpose being on the table, when you pay that price, suddenly abundance starts to crash onto you like a waterfall, because you're in alignment. You're in alignment with your true divine life purpose, right? And you start trusting yourself because you're also in integrity. But you have to stop trying to make everybody like you. You have to stop making everybody understand you. You have to stop pouring pink paint over shit. You have to hold people accountable. That's the price, right? You have to be the grown up in the room. Whoa, there we go. Right? Your health is like, you really have to decide that your health is too expensive to be on the table. And it's amazing the amount of things that manifest when I'm resting. The best things always manifest when I'm either in the sauna or when I'm having a nap or when I go to bed early, and then I wake up in the morning and my DMs are full, or we've got loads of new people that sign on to courses, or I've got loads of new one-to-one clients. Or the best things happen when I am in receiving from creator mode. And that is what rest is. Rest is an act of receiving. Here we go. Okay, Sarah Massey saying, hi Skylar, can I have a scan for receiving abundance? I've been working on it, but I don't know if I still have beliefs blocking the flow of abundance. Okay, divine guidance, divine action, divine action, divine action, divine action. Girl, this is like, you are doing that thing where you work on your issues to avoid having to show up and avoid having to change, right? That it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's no amount of healing sessions that will cover up you not taking your divine action. Okay, there's no amount of swaps that will make up for you not taking divine action. Okay, swaps and healing are not a substitute for divine action. They're like the back. So if you think about your relationship with God, there's an intimate backward facing relationship that is your relationship with God and your relationship with yourself. And that is supported and made strong, right? By you having a fearless moral inventory, by you doing sessions, by you doing the work, by you committing to going deep with your own therapy. But there's a forward facing motion, which is the divine action, which is the you showing up for others, which is the you being of service, which is the you doing the right thing instead of what's, fast, quick, or easy, right? And you're not taking divine action. So and people often use spiritual healing sessions as a way of not doing the work. They're like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm still doing the healing swaps. It's like, no, you do them together. You are never going to stop needing to do your therapy as long as you're growing, because every new level of growth requires a new level of service, sacrifice, and surrender. So every new level requires new support, right? But you are also never going to move forward if you are bypassing the need for divine action. Success on any level, right, is, I'd say, around 20% inner work and energy and 70% divine action. And they work together. They really work together. So let's just take a moment to release you from hiding, right? From using your sessions to hide from taking divine action, and bring you back into balance, right? 1 or 2 sessions a week maximum, and divine action Monday to Friday, every single day. Okay, and the angels are also showing me there's some serious cognitive dissonance going on in this group. So there's an energy of, I don't know what I'm doing. Why isn't my spiritual business working? But you do know what you're doing. And what this is going to do, if you lie to yourself, is A, break trust with yourself, and B, give your ego a grip on your divine life purpose. Because when you repeat something enough to yourself, even if it's a lie, you start to believe it. So if you start saying to yourself, I'm doing everything and it's not working, even though you're not showing up and doing, your social media every day, you're not telling people how you can help them and how you serve, you're not going to any events, you're not, working on your website, you're not doing any healing sessions, and you're going, I'm doing everything, your mind is going to start to believe that, right? And it's going to start anchoring pain to your divine life purpose. So it's not harmless and it's not protecting you, right? From anything except like an ego pain. If you are not living your divine life purpose, if you are moving away from God's will for you, that's not supposed to feel good, right? You're supposed to know that you are going further and further down the flow of fear, right? You're supposed to get like a red flag moment going, wait a minute, this isn't who I am. This isn't what I came here to do. There are people that need me, and start moving your way back to the creator, right? So you being in fear is not supposed to feel good. You not doing your divine life purpose, not supposed to feel good, right? You like not being in a good relationship, not supposed to feel good. So this is the thing, like you cannot use healing to hide darkness or to hide evil. You cannot pour pink paint over shit. You have to get really radically honest with yourself. That's why in Alcoholics Anonymous, they say, take a fearless moral inventory. Course in Miracles says, take a fearless moral inventory. Stop lying to yourself, right? It's costing you. It's costing you your divine life purpose. It's costing you your self-trust. You cannot afford lying to yourself. It's too fucking expensive. Okay, so can we release the places where you're lying to yourself? And now what I'm hearing coming up is like the energy is like, it's too exhausting. It's too exhausting. And if I do my divine life purpose, I'm never going to get to rest. Okay, I'm going to 100% call bullshit on this energy in the collective consciousness in this space. It is not true, right? You are exhausted from lying to yourself for years. You are exhausted from doing things you hate every single day. You are exhausted because you are listening to your fear instead of stepping into your faith. It is exhausting. Living a lie is exhausting. Doing something you hate to get a paycheck is exhausting. Pretending to like people you don't like so they'll sign your paycheck is exhausting and manipulative, right? Living in toxic relationships just so the guy will pay your bills or the woman will pay your bills is toxic, is exhausting. This is the truth. There is a price and you are paying it, but it's got nothing to do with your divine life purpose being too expensive. What's too expensive is living the lie. And that's what God wants you to know. That's what the angels are speaking to. So can we release that, please? You have to anchor the pain to the truth so that it can help you, right? And the painful truth is that living a lie, doing things you hate every day, living in fear just to survive is not sustainable. It's painful. It's exhausting. And that is what you are feeling right now, not your divine life purpose. Ooh. But the only person who can make a decision, right, to stop doing that is you. And that's what discipline is. Discipline is the ability to keep the promises you make to yourself. Discipline is the ability to keep the promises you make to God. And it comes from trusting yourself and believing in yourself, trusting in God and believing in God. There we go. Okay. Kate Hodgson, Sky, you're a badass. I love you and I love your story. Yeah, look, I love you guys so much. I love you guys too much to lie to you. It is that it's that simple. I'm not going to tell you the spiritual path is easy because it's not. I'm just going to tell you that it's worth it because it is. Right? If you rise, you will face jealousy, you will face, people trying to destroy your reputation, you will face haters, you will lose people you thought you'd have for the rest of your life. But all of that will still happen if you're not living your divine life purpose. You're still going to have disappointment, you're still going to have pain, and you will not have your mission and the good that you did to keep you warm at night. But this illusion that you have, that there's a way forward without challenges, it's an illusion. It has to go. It's part of the living a lie. There is no path without challenges. There is no mountain without hills. Okay, you just get to choose what mountain you're climbing, and that's a very important choice to make. Okay, Sachin's saying, hope nothing to worry about it. Worry never helps, Sachin, when it comes to health. But I'm going to, okay, so since we're clearly having a deep honesty day along with the full moon, and let's get real here, because you guys know I'm training a bunch of medical intuitives, and you can still see the level of avoidance because people don't want to know the truth about their health. Right? So they will do anything to avoid it, including manifesting false test results, including not going to get the tests, including manifesting like bad doctors, including just getting readings from other people instead of getting things properly checked, because it's easier than facing the pain of knowing the truth that you've neglected your body, that you've neglected your health, and now you have to deal with what's going on. Right? And this is the reality. There are painful pangs to awakening. So no, Sachin, I completely agree with you. Worrying will not help, but neither will pretending there's nothing wrong with your health, right? If your body is not okay, it is a strong communication from the universe that it's time to put yourself first. It's time to stop abusing your body under the guise of self-love, because it drives me mad. People do this every day. They're like, I'm loving myself, stuffing poison into their bodies. They're like, I'm loving myself. It's like, no, I'm really sorry. If you walked up to me and you were beating your wife every day, there's no way I would let you get away with it. I'd be like, I don't care how much you enjoy it. I don't care if you think it's self-love. I don't care if you think it's releasing anger. It's an act of abuse. Stop it. Right? It's the same thing with your body. Nobody is going to get away with walking up to me and going, I'm abusing my body. I'm feeding it junk food. I'm not exercising it. I'm not grooming it and dressing it. I'm not taking care of it. I'm not giving it vitamins and minerals. I'm not taking it for regular checkups. I'm not nurturing it. I've got no idea what's going on with it, so I'm ignoring it and I'm neglecting it. But it's self-love. No, it's not self-love. You're lying to yourself, right? Love is practical. It's one of the first lessons of A Course in Miracles. And to love your body is a practical thing. And it requires showing up. It requires more than just meditation and body scans. And I'm all for miracles and I work them every day, but it does require a higher level of accountability than that. Just like your bank account requires you to look at it, right? You cannot tell me you love your body and neglect it. And you cannot tell me you love your finances and never look at your bank account. Just like you cannot tell me you love your boyfriend and ignore them for weeks at a time and ghost them. So there is a higher level of responsibility that we need to call forth from you regarding your health so that you don't have further health problems down the line. Worrying is not the answer. Accountability is, right? This fearless moral inventory is, and it's really, really, really important. It's really, really, really important that you don't just go, oh, I'm going to take a higher level of vitamin C, or I'm going to go get some colonics and that's going to fix my health, instead of getting your checkups. Yes, by all means do it with, and by all means do it as a solution once you have the diagnosis, but do not use the fact that you are doing one or two things to help with your health to bypass the real amount of work it's going to take to get you to the level you need to be, right? To be healthy and strong. It's both. You have to look at what's really going on, and then you have to make the changes to set into play the manifestation that you want. And then you have to keep going with those new behaviors and habits until that's manifested in your life, right? And that's where the tests and the checkups and is so important, because it gives you this radical mirror that shows you exactly where you are, and it shows you the distance between where you are versus where you want to be, and it stops you from giving up right before you hit the mark, right? But this idea of transparency, is so important with your health. You have to know what's going on. It's not enough. It's not enough to just do a few healthy things so that you can bypass actually looking at what's really happening. Okay. And I'm saying that because I love you. I'm not saying that to be hard on you. I'm saying that because I love you and I don't want you to get sick. Okay. Okay. Love Sunshine saying, hi, Sky. Can I have insights about my insomnia? It became better before the full moon and now is really bad. I know I'm near menopause and was checked. Thank you. Okay, let's see what the cards are saying. Okay, so the card that you get is the Goddess of Self-Knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. And the joy permeated mother. I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. So the energy of that's coming up, menopause is an initiation, right? From the mother archetype into the sage archetype for women, or the crone archetype. So it's the energy of like completing the mother wounds and healing the energy of the sage, right? So it's going into this deep self-knowledge. Whenever we can't sleep at night, if you think about estrogen, progesterone, melatonin, these are hormones that represent not just our reproductive system, but the way which we communicate our identity to the world, right? Hormones are all about communication. So when they're changing and hormones are changing during menopause, the way that you communicate about who you are with the world is changing, right? So it's deeper self-knowledge of who do you want to be? Who are you now, right? That you're shifting from the mother archetype into the sage archetype. Okay. And it's cultivating that self-knowledge. And, you know, this joy permeated mother, I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. So there's been such a deep wounding to the sage archetype in female culture, through the witch burnings, through, you know, the invisibility and the neglect of older women and the invalidation of them. There's a huge break between the older generations and the younger generations going on at the moment. So you're being called to heal those things. From a herbal perspective, I'm really seeing that I can see the herb in my head, but I can't say the word out loud. Come on, angels. Okay, so herbs like ashwagandha, herbs like raspberry leaf, herbs like rhodelia, all work very well to bring your hormones back into alignment. These are like adaptogenic herbs. They're also showing me cold, cold therapy, like cryogenic therapy or cold baths are going to really help you. They're showing me that there's a real, like, your body is in a lot of anxiety and not able to switch off. So things like a hot bath and a red infrared sauna. You can get infrared sauna sleeping bags that you can buy for like 70 quid, etc. on Amazon, that you can do before sleep, that are going to help regulate your hormones. So is getting out daily and getting sunshine on your face a very important thing for you to be doing to help check your hormones. But from a healing perspective, it's the self-knowledge, it's this transition from the mother archetype into the sage archetype, and looking at all the self-knowledge, and also looking at this, activating this divine mother that's coming up really strongly. Okay, hi Sky, how are you doing? Can I have a scan to see what I need to work on? Thank you. Okay, Ali's saying, how are you doing? Okay, can I have a scan to see what I need to work on and how to, yeah, let's see what's going on. Pull the angel cards. Whoop! Okay, so we've got Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. So what you're being asked to do is, and this is like, there's some kind of health issue going on for you. I'm being shown that really strongly. And they're showing me that it's like you really need to laugh. Laughter is medicine. I actually prescribed it to one of my clients dealing with cancer just last week, like 3 sessions of 15 minutes of like laughter yoga a day. is that there's something in the nervous system that needs to switch. You're not feeling joy anymore. You're not feeling happiness anymore. There's a real energy of, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing. And there's going to be some big changes that you're going to have to make, because so part of the dark side of people pleasing is that we pretend to ourselves that we are happy. It's just these other people that are not, right? Our partner isn't happy. Our kids aren't happy. Our employers aren't happy. We're like, we're happy. But the truth is we're not. If you are people pleasing, you are not listening to your needs. You're not being yourself. You're not being authentic. You are not happy, right? And that's why you're surrounded by unhappy people, because you are refusing to be present with your unhappiness. Make sense? So you need to look at the part of you that feels ashamed of being unhappy, that feels unworthy of having your honest feelings or unsupported when you have those honest feelings. And you also need to look at the digging, right? Who told you that you'd never be happy? When did you accept that you would never be happy? And we're looking at the fearless moral inventory, right? Why are you in the job that you hate? Why are you in the relationship with someone that you no longer love? People pleasing only becomes an issue when you are pretending to be someone you're not, when you are trying to make people like you, and you care more about, you have this deep like wound of fitting in instead of actually having the courage to belong, right? So let's take a moment to do a healing on this, so that you have the courage to admit to yourself, hey, I'm not happy. And you can actually do a wounding session around, a healing session around that, so that you can be happy. You deserve to be happy, and you deserve to make the changes that you need to make to create the life that you want. Okay. Gonna do one more. Good morning, Sky. Thank you for your readings and love. Can you tell me what my guides want me to know, but it's for my highest and best? Thank you. Okay. Okay, I've got jumping two cards are coming out today. I've had 3 sets of 2 cards that jumped. Okay, so the fact that the cards come up upside down, right, means that the angels are saying this is what you need to do, but you are resisting doing it. That's all that it means. It's nothing to get scared of, but it's them showing you the things that you need to master that are currently blocking you, because you know you need to do them and you're not doing it, right? And that happens to a lot of us. Let's turn them back the other way around. So the first card is the mother of believers. I'm spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. So it's shifting from this card is saying that you're in that victim mindset, this energy of wanting somebody to come and rescue you, wanting someone to come and do it for you. And until you believe that you are the generator of your own wealth, that you are the generator of your spiritual and financial abundance, right? And we talked about the spiritual abundance earlier, you know, that for most people integrity is too high a price, right? That their divine life purpose is too high a price, and they're willing to put that on the table. They're willing to sell their divine life purpose. They're willing to sell their integrity, which is what you do with people pleasing, right? They're willing to sell themselves over having people not like them, over having to do something that's uncomfortable, over having to step into their power. So we're shifting from this energy of victimhood into this energy of divine power, of I am the generator of my financial and spiritual abundance. And what's too expensive is sacrificing my divine life purpose. What's too expensive is sacrificing my self-worth. What's too expensive, right, is having toxic people in my life. Not my dreams, not my abundance, not what I truly need. Okay. And then we have Catherine Laborn, the patroness of miraculous healing. I'm ready to heal. I'm worthy of the miracles meant for me. So worthiness is like a core issue here, right? You think you're blocked by not being able to forgive others, but actually you're blocked by not being able to forgive yourself or create a relationship where you believe yourself is worthy. So when we don't believe we're worthy, we're looking for other people to validate us. We're looking for other people to save us. We're looking for other people to give us the thing that we believe we cannot give ourselves, right? And obviously, if when life is a mirror of what's going on inside, it never happens. Doesn't matter how much we stamp our feet, doesn't matter how much we cry, doesn't matter how many bad experiences we have. It only happens when we change. So, can we release any places where you are angry that you have to change, that you have to grow, where you are angry that you have to take care of yourself, where you are still in this child archetype, this victim archetype? And just give all that rage to God so that you can find the courage to grow. You can find the courage to accept that in this situation you're wrong. No, you are not entitled to having someone come along and rescue you and do it for you. You have to put in the work, you have to put in the time so that you believe you're worthy. It's not for someone else, it's for you. There we go. Happiness comes from progress, right? Happiness comes from progress. Okay, so let's address this a little bit more because I can feel it's triggered so much anger when I'm saying this. So let's look at the metaphysical principles behind this, okay? Because it's important that you understand this is a fundamental truth. It's not just a belief and an opinion, it's a fundamental truth. So the lie that your ego would have you believe is that you were alone, that you were doing this all by yourself, that it's like the world's smallest violin energy. It's profound toxic self-pity. It's a belief that nobody cares about you and that therefore and that everyone else is incompetent and that you therefore have to do it by yourself. That is the argument the ego is putting forward. Okay? Now the still small voice within responds with, you've never been alone. You can't even take a breath by yourself. There are millions of organisms inside your body, bacteria, a whole system based on breath and soul that you is beyond your control, that's already been gifted to you. You have never been alone. God has been by your side since before you were even born, right? So you've never been alone. So this idea that you're alone, complete illusion, right? The next one is that you have to do it by yourself. You don't have to do it by yourself. This is divine guidance that you're receiving. Divine guidance, in its very nature, is advice you are receiving from another enlightened being, which means you're not getting it from yourself and you are not doing it by yourself. You have a whole army of angels supporting you, and friends and books and people, spiritual teachers that went before you that are helping you climb out of whatever hole of suffering that you've found yourself in, right? And then the next thing that the ego posits is that somebody should come and do it for you, right? Somebody should rescue you, which is the entitlement energy, right? And then leads to you resenting other people and you isolating yourself from other people. Now, the truth is everybody's carrying their own load. Everybody has been through a lot of suffering. Everybody has challenges in life, right? And the even deeper truth is that if you do not learn how to do things for yourself, you will never honor and respect the work of other people. And that's why when someone comes along and pulls you out of the hole, whether it's an alcoholic or whether it's a codependent or whether it's a narcissist, if somebody comes and does it for you, 5 minutes later, they're back to drinking again. 5 minutes later, they're back to abusing again. 5 minutes later, they're back in another toxic relationship because they haven't earned it. They don't respect it because they haven't paid the price to return to love. They don't value love, and they also don't understand the pain that comes from moving away from love, right? So it's not about God saying, oh, now you have to prove to me you're a good person. That's not it at all. It's about you not understanding the value or the worth of shifting from fear to love. And until you understand that, taking it from you is as easy as taking a lollipop from a baby. Okay. And that's what the fear mind will do. That's what the ego will do. That's what other people in your life will do. Until you understand the worth of shifting from fear into love, and you only understand that when you've had to do it a few times, when you get that it takes hard work and discipline and commitment and perseverance, only then, not only do you honor yourself and are you able to keep it and sustain it, right? But also only then are you able to value the work and the support of others and not sabotage what it took for them to be able to do that for you. Only then do you get how much that friend gave you when they stayed up with you till 2 o'clock in the morning, helping you mend your broken heart. Only then do you get how much it cost your spiritual teacher to give you a free space on that program. Only then do you get how much it cost your partner that you were sick for 6 months, right? it's a level of emotional maturity. You don't get how much it costs somebody else to be of service to you and the grace that they are giving you, and you will take it for granted until you have had to make that shift by yourself from fear to love. So there are always two arguments, and this is where Course in Miracles is so valuable, is that it helps you break it down and be like, okay, this is the argument that the fear is putting forward, and this is the argument that God is putting forward, and which one actually is the truth. And then you're able to navigate, right, much more easily. I'm cutting the hedge outside. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay, Vuvi is saying, hi Sky, thank you for everything. May I ask you to help identify what's blocking me from abundance? Am I not on a path that I'm supposed to be on? It's not about the path, it's about your worthiness. It's not about the path, it's about your worthiness. You have to do the inner work. What do you believe about who deserves abundance? What do you believe about you deserving abundance? Because when I'm scanning you, it looks like you believe other people deserve abundance, but you don't. And it also looks like you don't believe you should want it. Like wanting money is greedy. If I was to sit down and have a conversation with you, are you allowed to want money? And if the answer is no, that's what you're working on. It's not about the path you're choosing. It's about you not believing that you deserve money or that you're worth money. Okay, AJ Walters is saying, hi Sky, I've been made redundant and I would like guidance on what's next for me. Please, as I don't think I'll be getting another job the same as before. My love, like I'm literally seeing your angels kind of doing a mini dance and celebration. This is a divine timing. It's really a divine timing. So they're saying, what do you want to do? This is the time, a good time to start a business. This is a good time to start researching what you need to do to live the life that you want. Right? It's a good time to take a really deep level of responsibility. Hi, Sky. Hope all is well. I would like to ask what it is the angels want me to know about what financial investments I should make next and what is beneficial to my family and my business. Thank you. So, Maylene, I'm not a financial investor advisor, so I'm not allowed to give financial advice. But what I will tell you is this: what your angels are showing me is like houses. So I would go for real estate, right? And that's what they're showing me: houses, houses, houses. So that's where they're guiding you to go. Okay. Hi, Sky. May I ask for reading and guidance? I'm having quite a difficult time of my job in life completely. Thank you. Okay, so this is about gripping onto something that no longer serves you. Please be honest. I'm really hearing Archangel Michael going, please, please be honest with yourself. You've been asking to get out of this life, right? It's like we said, this life is completely going to, you've been asking to get out of this life. So when that's your prayer, dear God, I do not like my life, take it from me. Guess what? God is going to take the job. God is going to take the current life so that he can bring in something better, right? But if when what the prayer is manifesting, you're like, oh my God, panic, panic, panic. No, this is the answered prayer. Right? This is the answered prayer. I get the same thing with people going, I'm in overwhelm. And I'm like, well, this is what you prayed for. I tune in, I do this. This is what you prayed for. These are the psychic gifts you prayed for. This is the spiritual teacher you prayed for. This is the shift that you prayed for. And now you're going, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. It's like, you're not overwhelmed, right? You are receiving. You just need to stay calm as you're receiving. You can't have a bigger life without having a whole taking up more space, right? So let's take a moment and bring in gratitude for the answered prayer. Have the courage to receive the answer that you prayed for. You prayed for a different life. You do not like the life you have. So let go. I promise that what God has in store for you is better than what you ever planned for yourself. Let go. Okay, I can hear some of you laughing, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay. Let's do our closing prayer. I love you guys so much. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste.